Hello there, welcome to yet another edition of the Dashboard with OJ. If today happens to be your very first time on the show, thank you so much for coming around, and I urge you to subscribe to the channel so that you could get to see our posts as soon as we put them up. And also, big thumbs up to everybody who comes here every other time to watch and drop comments and make themselves a part of this family. I really do appreciate every single person. Okay, so what are we talking about for today's edition of the Dashboard? Quite recently, Pastor E.A Adeboye, who happens to be the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, celebrated his wife, who happens to be the Mommy Geo Folu, Mrs. Folu Adeboye, and he talked about her, and his tweet on social media spread like wildfire, causing people to drop their own reactions that are positive, that are negative, and some of them quite balanced. Happy birthday, Grandma. Happy birthday, Mommy G.O. God will keep Daddy. God will keep you, and with long life and prosperity, He will shower you in the name of Jesus. Amen. So, this tweet went abroad, and many people have reacted to it. Many people have reacted to this tweet, this thread of tweets. And it's amazing to see, the tweets so far, they showed the state of mind of the Nigerian people, and not just Nigerian people, so far so good of people generally across board. You see how they respond to things, you see how quickly they jump on matters. And do I have an opinion in this? Maybe I do, but I think the opinion of others in this matter would, suffice. Let's check out these opinions from viewers like you, and we'll come back to see how far we can go with this particular edition of the Dashboard with OJ. Don't go anywhere.
I've heard both sides of the divide. I've heard people say so many things. I've heard people say very disrespectful things about the man of God. I mean, very, very disrespectful. But I just want to give my own opinion and what works for me as a married man. Now, Pastor Adeboye says that his wife is a very powerful woman, and despite the amount of power that she has, she still cooks for him and trims his nails. And there was a whole lot of issue about it. So many people call this slavery. All this patriarchy topic came up and all that. Well, these are my own views as a married man. This is what works for me. In a ship, there should always be somebody. There should always be leadership. It's not so much about the head, but there has to be a leader, someone who can direct things. Now, you can have two captains in a ship, but you must always have one person who will lead. Now, it's not so much about servitude, about master-servant relationship. For me and my wife, what works for us is that, we're partners. I mean, we do things together. I run things by her, and if she feels that, what I'm saying, she has a different opinion about it, she needs me, to make up my mind. Sometimes I've been wrong, and she has never told me that I told you, and sometimes, I've been right. So for me, what works for me is partnership, togetherness, making decisions together. I think people took Pastor E.A Adeboye's tweet too far. Yeah, really.
People in this particular generation feel the need to criticize and insult people from the older generation because they seem to think that the people from the older generation don't have the stuff that they need. It's so sad because the truth is, you will not be here, literally, without the older generation. Apart from the fact that it gave birth to you, they also nurtured you to the point where you can make a decision for yourself. They didn't try to manipulate you or malign you. They allowed you to be free thinkers where you make your own decisions and stick with the consequences of your decisions. That being said, I think it is particularly wrong for you to open your mouth and then criticize them about the decisions that they made that has worked for them longer than you have been alive. It is also really wrong for you to criticize and insult their person because you think that you think that you are old enough to the point where you can say whatever. And social media gives you the platform where you can say things without actually sticking up to the consequences, or so you think. Because you see, what you do not realize is everything you say in life has creative power. So if you insult someone, you just set in motion a cycle where you don't know when, you don't know where, you don't know who is going to criticize. You don't even know what you're going to be criticized on. But someone is going to say something to you and you're going to wonder what is happening. So if you're going to open your mouth to insult someone like Daddy Adeboye on his marital structure and strategy that has worked for him over 50 years, longer than you have been alive, you need to take the seat at the back of the room. In fact, you need to take the seat at the overflow, at the back of the overflow, because that man has walked. And the last thing I want to say is this: if you have not died my death and walked my walk, you cannot talk my talk or live my life. There are some things that he knows sitting down that you will never know, even if you stand at the top of the mountain. Do you know what that is called? Experience and knowledge. And until he passes those to you, you will never know them. So this is just for the younger generation and the younger people who feel the need to open their mouth and just allow things to flow without filter.
We have to consider the context of the time. If we're going to judge older people by the moral standards of younger people, it's going to be a disaster. We're going to call Apostle Paul a misogynist. We're going to call Jesus Christ whatever. So it's important we realize that different times have different moral jurisdictions, and we need to put that into consideration while judging. The philanthropist of 100 years ago will be the murderer and bully of today's world. So, yeah, Adeboye has said this. He has said what he has said with his chest. And does the wife feel good about it? Most likely, yes. Does he feel good about it? Most likely, yes. So what exactly is the problem? You want to feel the pain that another person is not feeling. You want to go and meet somebody and say, you know what, you are sick, while the person is enjoying his life. I mean, you don't impose your moral standards on everybody. People are different. And it's one of the hallmarks of liberalism to be able to accept people who have very differing lifestyles and opinions. For some people, the patriarchal system is what is ideal. It is what is efficient for them. In some societies, matriarchy rules because it is what works. It is what is efficient. But we need to realize that the goal, I know a lot of feminists are talking against Adeboye. The goal of feminism should be equal rights, equal access. It does not necessarily mean equal outcomes, because even if we all start afresh from the playing ground, women will be drawn towards a certain direction and men will be drawn towards a certain kind of direction. The behaviors won't be the same. The outcomes will never be the same. We need to realize that. And so if somebody is in a patriarchal situation and they're happy and is meeting their needs and is efficient for them, please allow. Feminism is not necessarily the opposite of patriarchy. No, it is not. Feminism can dwell right in a patriarchal setting. So we need to understand the differences in all of this. For Adeboye, the man has shown to be able and be ready to do anything for his wife. So, yeah, I have issues with pastors and religious figures, but you see, people express their love in very, very strange ways. When I read about letters from old writers and I see their love as some sort of sadomasochism, and I'm like, is this ideal? Is this right? Yeah, if we can watch 50 Shades of Grey and we can accept that people can be that crazy in the way they love and in their expressions of love, why can't we accept that, okay, in another time, another setting, a group of people can love in a very different way and can express that love in a different way? Why must we be so close-minded, yet we think we are the liberal ones? As his expression shown that does it show that the woman is in pain or the woman is not happy where she is or the situation is not efficient or ideal for this woman? Like, don't judge people so badly. This is a very sensitive issue because we are leaving one box and we are getting into another. So yeah, we should be careful when we. And then finally, I think it's important to say that a man that has had decades of years of a successful marriage, one, he has also raised a successful organization, business, a church. You should give him the privilege of the doubt. You should understand that this man is most likely more intelligent than 99% of people on the internet. So you think with your 25 years or 30 years experience and the 100 books you've read, you suddenly know more about the world or you are more intelligent than a man that has done all of these things, has this mad records. Think about it, though. Don't be in a hurry to assume that your way of life or your opinions are the best or the most ideal. There are arguments against everything. So be careful in the way you approach these topics. Your view of life may be very limited, and it most likely is if you think.
Here's my own take on the matter. First and foremost, Pastor Adeboye is a 76-year-old man, comes from a different generation. So of course he spoke in a way that relates to people of his generation. The issue with people of my generation is that they feel that everything that everybody must say should suit their own eardrum, which cannot happen. We're all going to grow old one day, and in the next 10, 20, 30 years, it might not even be that far, we'll hear people that are of younger generation now blasting us the way we speak. So I believe that there is room for allowance. He's speaking as a man of his own generation. Secondly, he said that the man is the head of the house. There is no amount of argument, there's no amount of fight. I believe strongly that even though we're in 2020, the man is still the head of the house. Thirdly, many people seem to have a problem with the word submission. Well, each person to his own kettle of fish, but I still believe that submission is also key, even though I also believe that both husband and wife should submit to each other, as the Bible has implied. But he was simply just extolling the virtues of his wife on her birthday, highlighting her submissive virtues, how she still cooks and serves his food, how she cuts his nails. For example, my wife even loves cutting my nails. I don't even see why that's such a big deal. He was just simply trying to explain how loving and caring his wife is to him. And it's unfortunate that people of the younger generation expect that he must say it in a way that suits their eardrums. It's funny also how we seem to have a double standard. Many people will say that each person has the right to say what they want to say, how they want to say it, express themselves how they want to say it. We have no place to police how somebody else expresses himself. But it seems it's only when they say what you want to hear. But now he has said what he said the way he could say it the best, and now people are angry. So where does that statement come in that you cannot tell people how to express themselves? He expressed himself the way he wants to. And if we remember, just a few months ago, many of us were hailing Pastor Adeboye when he made a statement about his wife that you can mess with him, you can insult him, no problem. But if you mess with his wife, he is going to pull you down, he will kill you, that even on resurrection day, you will not rise again. All of us were saying, yes, E for energy. So that means that he truly loves his wife. But right now, the same set of people that were hailing him just a few minutes ago are the same going to try to pull him down. We need to pick a stand. But no matter what he said, no matter how we want to deal with, the point is that it is his marriage, it is his wife. I'm sure his wife knows that he loves her so much. Whether or not he said it in a way that appeals to you, that's your business. He's not responsible for how you choose to interpret it. He's only responsible for what he said. His wife loves him, he loves his wife, and that's it. I think anybody has an issue with that should go sleep and drink some water. Mind their own business.
Hello everybody, So Clever here, and my own takeaway was marriage is built upon mutual service. Paul, in speaking to us husbands, asks us to love our wives, instructs us to love our wives, commands us to love our wives, and he gives a model as Christ himself loves the church. That is the standard. Husbands, love your wife as Christ himself loves the church. What does the love of Christ for the church look like? Service. So we as husbands, we as heads have to understand that that word head means that literally we are the chief servant. So when I serve my wife, she would willingly serve me. That's why I said it's based on mutual service. Now he describes certain actions and certain, she clips his nails, she cooks his food and all that, and certain generations, frown at that and look at that like, oh, what's this? But we need to understand he's from a generation where, in a sense, that was or that is their love language. But the point to be taken away from all of this is that she does that because he also has, I'm sure, time without number, shown her that he is willing to go to any length to be of service to her. This is the man who said in a video, just before her birthday, that he would, that if you touch his wife, he would kill, he could kill you, or he would kill you. With that level of love, she understands that this man has my back, and that's why she would do whatever she does for him. I don't know why people are getting worked up. If he didn't mention it, we probably wouldn't know that this was going on in their own home. It's what has helped them in their own marriage experience. And if we're going to be honest and sincere with ourselves, most of us have parents, most of us have grandparents or had that this was what their happy union, their marriage looked like. It's a generation, and that was the love language of that particular generation. As time evolves, some things which probably change, but we need to understand that no matter what change is about, and when I say change, I mean the expressions of that principle. The underlying principle is that of mutual service. And so that may differ in the way it plays out in relationship, from relationship to relationship. But at the end of the day, we cannot escape the fact that being the head literally means that we husbands are the chief servants. This is something God has been dealing with me, recently, a lot hammering, down my ear. So that's what I saw, from that, all of what he said. That's my own takeaway, that this thing called marriage, this thing called a lasting union is built upon mutual service, where daily we die to ourselves, we die to our selfish pride, we die to our ego, we die to our greed, and we resurrect that genuine love, that compassion, that ability to nurture, to encourage, that ability to literally put the needs of the other person before yours. That's what we come to do at marriage. It's a sacrifice. It literally is a sacrifice, and it's only a painful sacrifice when you are still holding on to yourself, because this has been my experience, and it took me a long while to learn this. You have to lose yourself to find yourself in marriage. You have to be willing to stop being the person you used to be. This calls for you to be a new person, a resurrected person.
Yes, so that's it. You need wisdom to navigate the trenches of life. And they say that, ayono bi opamose. I don't know how to say that in Yoruba, but ayono ko no. That is, life is not as straight, as the Moses's. It's not as straight as the staff of Moses. Life is crooked, life is up and down, life is tipsy-turvy. So you have to be careful of life, so that life will be careful, of you too. And whatever your options or whatever your comment is, please, I know you have an opinion of yours. And if you choose to want to share with us, I would love that you drop yours on the comment section. And if you're yet to subscribe to the channel, please feel free and hit the subscribe button, because we got more juicy content here for you every other time you come by. Okay, so we still got more videos for your viewing pleasure. So just pick anyone and I will be waiting for you on either side of the video you choose to watch.